the president of Belarus and Putin as well today, both touting this supposed plan by the US to have tried to assassinate Lukashenko of Belarus.
I can confirm there's no basis in fact there. Go ahead.
I just want to bring it back to policing.
Sure.
On a call with George Floyd's family and the family's attorney after the verdict yesterday, the family's attorney said, quote, hopefully this is the momentum for the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act to get passed and have you sign. The president's response was, you got it, pal, that and a lot more. Not just that, but a lot more. So in your estimation, is that the president promising to the Floyd family that he will get a policing bill passed?
I think he's promising to the Floyd family that he will use the power of his presidency, the bully pulpit, as he intends to do during his joint address next week, the role of senior leaders in his government to help push the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act forward.
How far is he willing to push for it?
I'm not sure what that means.
I mean, how far is he willing to push to get something done?
In what way?
You just talked about giving people in Congress, lawmakers, breathing room to talk and negotiate. But you know, how far is he willing to get Democrats in line? Is he willing to keep just pushing for this? Is it a huge priority? Like, can you prioritize, or give me a sense of his priorities in terms of getting this done?
Well, I would point you to the fact that, one, the president gave a passionate call last night for the importance of moving forward in this moment with the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. It is on his mind as he is working with his team and all of us to draft his joint session speech, which is one of the highest profile moments any president has in the first year of their presidency. He has worked and has had discussions with leaders and members of Congress about moving forward on the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, including as recently as his meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus last week. And he has asked prominent leading members of his administration to remain closely involved and engaged in this effort as it moves forward. So I'd say it's absolutely a priority on his mind, and he feels this is a moment where there should be momentum for action.
One on Putin, who today did have some aggressive language for Western nations that would, you know, interfere in Russia's affairs. He said that Russia's response would be asymmetric, fast, and tough if forced to defend its interests. I'm just wondering broadly, and the Russians have also expressed skepticism that sanctions could do anything to box them into to having a summit between Putin and the president. Can you give us any update on how Putin's words today and his posture could affect any plans for a summit between the two?
Well, we have been clear that we desire a relationship with Russia that is stable and predictable, and we don't think it needs to continue to be on a negative trajectory. The sanctions were not meant to entice anyone to attend a summit. That would be a strange strategy. It was meant to put in place consequences for the actions that were completely unacceptable in our eyes and the eyes of the global community. At the same time, while we put those consequences in place, the president was sending a clear message to President Putin on his call that he believes we can have, this is an opportunity to have a discussion about areas where we think there's an opportunity to work together on, whether that is nuclear non-proliferation, as we did with the continuation, the extension of the New START treaty, or the Iran nuclear deal, and also have discussions about areas where we disagree. Obviously, it requires all parties having an agreement that we're going to have a meeting, and we issued that invitation. We're continuing to have discussions at a high level, as is evidenced by the National Security Advisor's conversation with his counterpart earlier this week. Go ahead. I'll come back.